Okay. Friends, welcome to the class again. The session that we have started yesterday was actually short-lived. I told you my condition today it's far better. And usually I conduct my classes for almost like 2.5 hour class. After about 1.5 hour or 1 hour 15 minutes, I'll give a break of 10 minutes or 5 to 10 minutes so that you can recharge yourself. And we'll continue after the session. So today also I'll be practicing the same so that it's not that continuous overload on you. Number one. Second, today I'll be talking about the syllabus overview from all the 6 parts that we have spoken yesterday, right? So I'll be taking up each and every part. I'll be speaking about the essential ideas about the individual parts, 6 parts. So what are those chapters that come in that 6 parts also? We will have an idea, number one. And tomorrow, the last session of the workshop, we will be taking up a topic, an introduction, etc. of a part. We'll give you an introduction and overhaul of a part in a detailed manner. And once this is over, when we begin the classes, we'll continue that part. Okay? So, any queries that you could not ask yesterday, you can raise them today as well after the end of the session or when I give you the break. So, I'm very, very clear right from the word go. Okay. Now, as I was speaking about anthropology as a subject yesterday, from the syllabus viewpoint, it can be conveniently divided into 6 parts. One is the social cultural part. You can write down the part name also. You can open up your books and you can start giving the part name, part number first. This is not the part that UPSC has divided. It is we are doing, okay, for our convenience. Part 1 or part 2, general number 1 also you can write. Part 1 is called as a social introduction part and a social cultural part. Introduction and social cultural part. And what are the chapters that come in that, I will tell you, slide topic by topic. Then part 2, I usually allocate, this is about, part 2, or you can call part 2 in Indian numbers also. It is called as the biological or physical part. Biological and physical part is dealt under part 2 in our scheme of things. And part 3 is, we'll write from here. Part 3 is the anthropological theories, or simply we call it as thought. Okay. Number 3. Number 4, part 4 is the prehistoric archaeology part. Number 5 we have is Indian society and culture. And number 6 is tribal India, part 6. Part 6 is tribal India. In this we'll be dealing with the tribal part clearly, separately, and we'll give utmost treatment to all the parts. We'll give importance to all the parts. And as I told you, again I repeat, we will be hitting on the nail on its head. That is, we will be focusing on the exam angle right from day one. So once you complete that, we'll go to the part by part. I will discuss broadly the syllabus. So this is a syllabus session also. That's the reason syllabus copies were given to you. Those who have not collected, you can actually ask them or go and collect from the table there. I think syllabus copies are set there. Okay. Are you done with this circle? Draw kar lo jaldi. And I request you very, very strongly, there is a very important thing, life lesson I'm going to give you. Because, of course, throughout this journey, I'll be sharing a lot of life lessons as well. And one life journey is don't fall for first impressions. Okay, you are going to become officers of tomorrow, some of you. And we cannot work like ordinary people. Ordinary people, what is the way they ordinary people form opinions? Am I audible? Last line. Ordinary people. Now, once you go into this, once you start preparation itself, you have elevated yourself to the next level. Number one, whether you succeed or not, your way of looking at society goes for a sea change. So you will be going and thinking like at a higher level. So usually people at the lower level, they form opinions faster. Something called as first, we call it as first impression. First impression is the best impression. Absolutely ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. One stupid fellow said, everybody repeats. Can you take a decision for your life at first impression? आजकल शादी का मिक्स match looking or match fixing, whatever you call funnily. Do you people go, I mean youngsters, will they prefer only one meeting and you will fix the marriage? Is that simple? That used to happen earlier. And what about the career you are going to take? What kind of decisions you should take? So you should give time, and that's the reason we have kept 3 days for that. If one day, if people come to a judgment, that thanks to them. And I can give them all the best, that's it. And in one day, one class, we cannot come to a conclusion. That's the reason 3 days have been allocated. And we'll be dealing not only the detailed ideas, also some subject as well. How subject is so interesting, we will give you a taste of that. If provided your friends miss them, you can also come ask them to come next day, so that the actual subject is also dealt there. And I, with my 27th year, I've entered here in February. I need not express or showcase or exhibit my talent for attracting students. That's not my job. Okay, I'm not here to market or anything. I'm here to share my treasure house of knowledge. It's up to the students how they make use of them. It is up to the students how best they can tap people like me. Okay, and the ball, the court is open. It's anybody's take. Next, we'll now move to the part by part analysis. Now, first things first. Part 1. What is the name we have given? Introduction and social cultural part. It's wonderful that you are resonating with me. This is the mood of the class I want. Introduction and social cultural part. And let me also tell about myself. Sometimes a person's picture should also be gotten from the social media these days. If you type my name in the internet or right in the Google, wherever, you get to see my profile. You can come to a conclusion then also. Social cultural part. What are the areas that come in this? What are the topics that come in this? Chapters. Now I'm writing chapters. Chapters 1.1 to 1.3. Now if you open your syllabus copy, now I request everyone to be with your syllabus copy. Now please focus 1.1 to 1.3. What are they? And 1.4 I am not writing here. I am not touching 1.4 because If you see 1.4 carefully, you will observe that that some kind of biological thing has come. Just focus there, right? They are talking about biological and cultural, human evolution and emergence of man, right? That is a chapter 1.4. In that, what they have mentioned, biological and cultural factors in human evolution. Then theories of organic evolution, pre-Darwinian, post-Darwinian, post-Darwinian theories of evolution, right? In that it is there. You don't have copy, syllabus copy. Two of you should have two copies, no? You have copies there, get the copy. And any person who is saying I am preparing for IAS exam without knowing the syllabus, you should thank yourself that okay, one fellow is eliminated from the competition, right? What is the funda now? If someone is saying I have not seen the syllabus, I don't know the syllabus, I have not seen the PYQs, that means one competition is eliminated. That's it, this fellow is gone. He can never make it to the list, he or she. That's the reason we take care from day one. You should know what you are actually doing. You are doing, you are meaning and doing. It's not that just like that you come to the class and take the notes and disappear. No. 1.4 mein kya hai? Dekho, there are biological stuff. That's the reason we have put that in biological parts. So 1.1 to 1.3 introduction, you can see meaning, scope and development of anthropology. Next 1.2 anthropology and relationships with other disciplines. 1.3 major divisions of anthropology, right? All these come under something called as introduction. First you should know what exactly is this. So UPSC has its own style of going into the subject. Second, next we will jump to the chapter number 2. In fact 2.1 to 2.5. In this you can start writing. Now open your notebook and start continuing the same from where you have left in part 1, that is in our scheme of division. See, don't get confused. Part 1 means what is this part? We have cut the syllabus into parts. For our purpose, part 1 means introduction and social cultural part. That part has 1.1 to 1.3 in the introductory stuff, and chapter 2.1 to 2.5 as a continuation. What are there in that? Society and the concepts of society and culture, right? There are several topics there. Culture and civilization, social institutions. There are so many detailed stuff. Then coming to 2.3, you can have a look at that. I am not writing very detailedly here. Syllabus copy is given for that purpose only. 2.3, you have a chapter called as marriage. 2.4, family. 2.5, kinship. So this is a very crucial part in understanding some societies. As we have noted yesterday, what are the 3 facets of anthropology? 3 basic things: biology, society and culture. So in this this is the reason we call it a social cultural part, because both come together here. And we do have some chapters like chapter 3. Chapter 3 is called as economic organization. You can see there, economic organization and societies subsisting on, communities subsisting on hunting and gathering, pastoralism, swiddening, and agriculture, intensive agriculture, principles governing production, distribution and exchange, and many other dimensions in chapter 3. So that is how societies make living. In chapter 2, as we have noted, we will be talking about how societies perform their marriages, how societies have some family systems. What is a family? What kind of families are there? Is a family a universal institution? Are families present in all the societies in the world? Is marriage a universal institution? There is a very interesting discussion in fact. Now if I ask you without any anthropological knowledge, what is your answer? Is marriage a universal institution? Universal means it is present everywhere in every society in the world. Yes or no? More or less yes. I am saying more or less yes. Why more or less yes? Because in some societies marriage is not required for a man and a woman to stay together and get children and establish family. Even today, and in modern societies, I wanted someone to just put some idea on that lights. Can you relate? Modern societies, our societies, exactly, people are going, they are going the bypass. They are bypassing the marriage system, family system. They are going and adopting live-in relationships, live-in murders also. Now people are even committing murders just like in a marriage also. And a lot of freedom they are enjoying, they think. But a big discussion is there for us in chapter 2.3, 2.4 ho gaya. 2.5 about kinship. The topic kinship, it looks very simple. What is kinship? Any guesses? Relationship, kin. We call somebody, see, somebody has come from village. You say, these are my kin, kith and kin. Bolte na kuch, they have your WhatsApp groups. Kith and kin. Maybe you don't have, but some fellows put their WhatsApp group. Kith and kin. What do you mean by kin? Kin means our relatives. So why anthropologists are interested in relationships? What are these relationships? The relationships that we know in the so-called developed societies. In America, relationship means it has got a very wide meaning. In India, relationship means the moment somebody says relationship, we have a negative thing, right, mindset, right? Relationship is not that. In anthropology, relationship is something different. Yesterday, I gave an example of Manipur people having their kin across the border, even in Myanmar. Yesterday, we spoke about Chenchu people. You remember? Chenchus living in near Hyderabad, Kurnool. Chenchus have a very typical practice. If I am a Chenchu, I am going to get honey from a mountain. I'll be hanging down a mountain with the help of a rope, and I'll be connecting honey, and I'll be giving to some fellow. Who is that fellow taking that honey? Once I collect them, somebody is there to collect, no? Or who is holding the rope? It is my Bava Mardi. In Telugu, we call Bava Mardi or Bamardi. Who is that? Brother-in-law. It is a compulsory rule among the Chenchus that if one person is going, man is going for getting honey, he should be accompanied by his brother-in-law. That is a rule. Now tell me, do we have something like that in our societies? Our brother-in-laws may come or may not come to our home regularly. That fellow is only interested in some small stopgap arrangement. That fellow never sees your face. In Telangana, Bava is very strong relationship is there. That if Bava is coming, this fellow has to arrange a dawat. Otherwise, his throat is cut. So he is very, very strict here. So in some societies, people don't care their Bavas. Bava means Jijaji, not the Macha. Macha actually in Tamil, Macha means brother-in-law. In means Chotawala, not the elderly one, the husband of that woman. And kinship has got extraordinary role in not only here in these kinds of relationships, but also in religion, in political offices. If I am a chief of some kind of a tribe, who will succeed me naturally? Who will succeed me? Usually, take a guess. If I am a king, who will succeed me? My eldest son. What is that thing which is informing or which is guiding this political position? Kinship. And there is a community called Toda. In Nilgiris, there is a community called Toda. Nilgiris, where are Nilgiris? In Tamil Nadu, Kerala, that small tip of the peninsula, that entire belt of Western Ghats, Nilgiri mountains are there. There is also a place called Silent Valley. You must have heard, some of you. It's an extraordinary, beautiful place there. Some of the tribes are known as Toda. Okay, Toda people, they have community banks. They live on buffalo pastoralism. People who are interested, they can take the running notes also. What do you mean by buffalo pastoralism? Buffalo, सब लोग जानते हैं. What is pastoralism? It is there in your syllabus. Please underline that word. Go to your chapter 3. There is a term called pastoralism. Underline that word. What is pastoralism? It is an economic practice of living, making a livelihood with the help of animals, animal wealth. What are these animals? Buffaloes, goats, sheep, ducks, even ducks also, and many other animals. Yak, in Himalayas, yak, YAK. What is this kind of a living called as? Pastoralism. I told you yesterday, from day one, we have a very important approach. What is that approach? I told you, I shared one approach of mine that will become yours from today. Keyword approach. So I'll be repeating this word at least a dozen times. Pastoralism, pastoralism, pastoralism. I'll be taking you tomorrow after 10 classes. Again, I'll be coming to today's class. On that day, second day of the workshop, I spoke on that. You remember? Then keyword approach is this. It will reinforce the subject in your head so deeply that you can never forget the subject. So in economic organization, we have this topic called as pastoralism. And these Toda people live with the help of pastoralism. Which pastoralism? Buffalo pastoralism. And the money they get from selling the ghee, etc., milk, ghee and milk products, they deposit in a community bank. And all of them are very close people. Their population is very few hundreds only, not even thousands. They have a very small segment of people. So like that, these tribal people give importance to relations, and anthropologists have developed an extraordinary interest in these kinds of relationships. Because I told you yesterday, where anthropology has started, I told you keyword approach. Again, go back to yesterday's class. I have written 4 questions on the board. What, why, when, where. Where anthropology has started? In the West, in the Western societies, in Europe and America. So a Westerner comes to India, he just comes and goes. If you invite him to one of your marriages, one of your marriages in one of your families, will that fellow keep quiet? He goes crazy. Wow, what an Indian, the great Indian wedding. He starts taking photographs, videos. He'll make a crazy kind of a atmosphere. Even if the mode is dull, he will elevate the mode, because for him it's a big tamasha. It's some kind of a new thing. So tribal people, simple people who were there in other countries of the world, first time when these Western fellows started visiting them, everything was interesting for them. Everything. Even when you go to Andamans, will you keep quiet? Andamans, one fellow is making vlog, another is making blog, another making his, just like that, videos and photographs. As a tourist, how many days you can go to Andaman, stay in Andamans? As a tourist, everybody please participate. And if you want to speak, we have 10 minutes, complete 10 minutes baat kar lo, after I give you the break. Okay? So you can engage in this discussion. How many days one can stay? 5 days, 1 week, based on our budget, 10 days, 15 days, 1 month. Have you ever seen a person, ordinary person, living in Andamans for 6 months, 1 year, not on a job? Only a bag and a camera and a diary and notebook and some kind of a baggage, 2 bags, not as a tourist. Have you ever thought of living in any extreme exotic society like this? So who are these fellows who do that? Anthropologists. Now if I become an anthropologist, I continue my stay. If I am living in Andamans for 6 months, 1 year, 2 years, will I keep quiet? I write every small detail of Andamans, what food they eat, what kind of clothes they wear, what they don't wear. Even today, some of the Andamanis women do not wear the upper clothing. Even today, in some parts of the world, even women do not wear the upper clothing. For others, it's like a laughing thing. People make videos and put them on YouTube and they make money and they make fun of them. For anthropologists, again, anthropologists का एक ही काम है. What is that? They raise questions. Why these people are like this? What is wrong with them or what is right with them? How these people are making a living? These people are living without any contact. I hope many of you heard the name Sentinelist. Sentinelist नाम सुना ही होगा. Who are these people? Any idea? They are the tribal people who live in Andamans. Okay, that is also fine. But you'll be surprised to note that these people had got no contact with the outside world for thousands of years. Even today, they are living in that Neolithic age. What is Neolithic age? Acha, by the way, Neolithic age, is that our topic of discussion? Is that in the syllabus? Is there in the syllabus? Go to chapter 1.8, you will find it there. These people are living almost like 5,000 to 10,000 years back. And if I want to study them, won't it be like extraordinary thing? I can't understand them in 1 day, 1 week, 1 month. It might, minimum, it requires 1 year. So what I become in that process? A tourist, if he wants to stay and study the society, what he becomes? Anthropologist. So anthropologist people develop interest in these kinds of systems, their marriages, their family systems, their relationships, their economic conditions, in what conditions they are living. Are they living on buffalo pastoralism, or are they living on hunting and gathering, or they are doing some slash and burn agriculture? Some of you might have studied that in your geography. At least NCRT में तो पढ़े होंगे slash and burn. अच्छा, I'll give another name for that. Shifting cultivation. So some people even today live on shifting cultivation. In fact, in Telangana, our own Telangana, we had regular issues of these tribal people with the forest department. In fact, criminal cases were filed on some tribal people last year or 2 years back, when forest officials were attacked and killed by the tribal people. Forest officials, forest guards, etc. Why they were killed? Are these tribal people so violent people? No. They were fighting for their Podu Bhumis. Podu is another name for shifting cultivation. Podu is a zooming in northeast, Podu in Odisha, Andhra, Telangana. And they want their own lands, which are, what are the lands known as? Podu lands. They want to do the shifting cultivation even today. Let the environment go for a toss. We don't care. We are not about environment protection from that angle. In fact, that is not their subject. Their subject is livelihood, because they want to live. So for their livelihood, they practice this. Now, if I am an anthropologist, will I keep quiet and come back after taking some few photographs and videographs? No, I'll be making an ethnography. When I write a detailed account in this much book on a tribe or any village, what is that called as? Ethnography. I'll be talking on that later. Okay. Now, this is about economic organization. This is chapter 4 is about what? Political organization. Political organization and social control. That is the title of the chapter. You see. Now, same question. If I go to some foreign country, some foreign people, am I not interested in their political systems? Yes. Because there are some people in this world, living in about the size of 30 to 40. If I am belonging to a band, BAND, the word is there in that syllabus. Check. If I am there in a band, I'll be moving along with my band, which is whose size is 30 to 40, 50 people only. And where I live in a band in the Arctic region, Eskimo. Might have heard the Eskimo name, right? Some of you. Eskimos live in the polar regions, Arctic regions. Can hundreds and thousands of people live in the Arctic region? Absolutely no. So only 30, 40, 50 people as a band, they live. 3, 4 families, 5 to 6 families, that's it. And anthropologists are interested in these people. People in sub-Saharan Africa and Central Africa, some Bushmen of the Kalahari. If you see National Geographic, you will be knowing some people. Bushmen, and they are very short fellows, pygmies. These people live in bands. So other people have got no interest. If I am a businessman, if I am doing PhD in MBA or Masters in Business Administration, I am not interested at all. I don't go to a pygmy band and study them. If I am a sociologist, very rare chances. If I am a doctor, I may treat these fellows and come back. I don't study, I don't stay there. I don't spend my time in the village. I don't dance with them. I don't drink with them. I don't eat with them. Even though these people are treating me very well, I don't stay there. If I am an anthropologist, I would love to stay with them. So in this fashion, anthropologists collect every dimension. Yesterday we spoke about this. What is this? 360 degree wala. That 360 degree holistic, complete, comprehensive study I will make about a society. Then I come back. My bag, which had only my diary earlier, once I come back to my home, I keep that bag aside, take the diary out, start writing that, and I have produced one ethnography. And that is my contribution to the world. Look, people are living in this world, in these conditions, and they are also human beings. Let us also talk about them. This is one of the principles of anthropology. In chapter 5, what is there? Religion. It is also called as anthropology of religion. One of the most interesting topics in anthropology is religion. And every one of us have religion. Most of us are religious beings, right? And some people don't believe in God or a goddess. Some people believe. We are called as theists, atheists, agnostics, and whatnot. Whether you believe or not, still you are in the realm of religion. Whether you believe or not, you still are in the realm of religion. Realm, R-E-A-L-M, means that sphere. That means religion is a part and parcel of our life. In fact, if you ask me, what is religion according to you? I say, it is the first law of the world. It may be different, you may interpret it in a different way. What can be religion called as? In my opinion, I think it as first law of the world. How can I say that? If you are religious, usually will you break any laws? True religious person. Because religion itself lays down do's and don'ts. You do this, you don't do that. So it's almost like a law. Okay, then comes chapter number 7. I am bypassing chapter 6. Why? Tell me. You have the answer with you. Just see the chapter 6. Chapter number 6, it deals with anthropological theories, and this entire chapter is a very extraordinary, beautiful topic with which actually we'll be starting our journey. Our classes will start with part 6, that is theories. And understanding theories will make you mostly comfortable, extraordinarily comfortable with the subject. Entire subject pakad mein aayega aapko. You will be able to understand and grasp its essence. Within few months, you will be like feeling very, very comfortable with anthropology. You will applaud yourself. I have taken the best decision of choosing this optional. will be your statement. Every one of you will come and speak to me, sir, I have taken a best decision. You just wait for that time, right? We'll definitely get that day. So what is the idea here? Chapter 6 is separated as anthropological theories part or thought part. In part 3, in our scheme of division, you see that circle again, go back. In that division, we have put a part 3 and we have included which chapter? Chapter number 6, anthropological theories. There are about a dozen theories, right from classical evolutionism, diffusionism, historical particularism, functionalism, structuralism, cognitive theories, culture and personality school, cognitive school, in the middle, neo-evolutionary school, okay, and cultural materialism, then symbolic and interpretive theories, postmodernism. Minimum dozen theories. And it looked like many students feel it is a tougher area. And yesterday on the board, if you remember, I was also talking about anthropological theories. What was the topic? What was the thing I spoke to? That as far as scoring is concerned, this is a highly scoring area, and we will try to get the best out of this part. So separate treatment I am giving for that. That's the reason. And followed by, once if we leave 6, then we have got this topic called as, chapter called as culture, language and communication. You see, in that we will know what exactly is this nature of language, and you will be raising very beautiful ideas. One of the very beautiful idea with which we begin this discussion is, you as a general person, now forget that you are an anthropology student, okay, a regular simple person. Have you ever thought that why animals can't speak? Do animals speak? Animals also speak only in cartoons or these 3D movies, or what abhi naya kya aa raha bhai, animes, cartoons and all that, they speak. Usually, have you seen animals speak? Maybe that parrot, if it is given some training, he'll speak, or some kind of 1 or 2 words speak. Other animals speak. But a chimpanzee, can it come and give a lecture about anthropological theories for 2.5 hours? Has it ever occurred to you? And we never think about that. It's not our business. Will a doctor think about that? Will an engineer think about that? Will an MBA fellow think about that? Commerce and accountancy? You know, andaru unnattunnaru kada. Andan touch chestunnaru. That is the reason I told you, anthropology is like a fresh novel. Fresh thing it will bring. It brings freshness to your preparation. Maro goli, marks and scoring side mein rakho. First you should have that interest. No. You should have something interesting in this phase of life. So you start understanding and questioning, what on earth is this language? Were we, yesterday I was speaking about 40 lakh years ago or 4 million years ago. Were our ancestors of that time also able to speak? These are the questions we raise. We get answers. And how can we prove that people 3 lakh years ago, 5 lakh years ago, 10 lakh years ago spoke or not? That is the job of paleoanthropologists. I have a very interesting word for you. You can write it down if you want. Who are these people? Have you heard about paleontology? Paleo. What can be the meaning of paleo? Batao yaar. What is the meaning of paleo? Paleo means old. Today also there was an article in Hindu about, there was a study conducted by CSIR, CCMB and some institute on paleo sciences. I don't remember that name. These people have conducted a study among some tribal people in Odisha and Chhattisgarh, etc. Right? And I told you yesterday, somebody was asking about current affairs. Every day I said, without my newspaper, my day doesn't start. I can miss my breakfast, but not my newspaper. If that fellow doesn't deliver, I catch hold of his neck. because I got used to that feel of the paper. I don't go by that now what is that e-paper, etc. In that paper, what I have studied or what I have understood is these people who were trying to protect those 4,000-year-old Austric group of languages. Austric, all you will know. This is also our syllabus only. They are protecting their culture and language very strongly, but still they have a threat of being slowly but gradually engulfed by the Indo-European languages, which the majority of the language, they form the majority of the languages in India. Indo-European, what could be them? The Hindi belt, etc. The Hindi and the major other languages related with that, and English as well. These languages, it seems, are slowly coming, and they will come in some few decades. All these Austric languages will become extinct. Like how species are getting extinct, and languages are also becoming extinct. There is a great danger of. So, is it good or bad? We'll have a debate on that later. Whether if our language becomes extinct, will it be fine for us? Is it okay? Absolutely unthinkable. When you fall onto the ground, will you say "Mummy, Daddy"? Or in your language you say. When you fall down, you get hurt. आमिर खान में भी yelling आइला बोलता है, लेकिन सब लोग आइला नहीं बोलते हैं ना. Are you getting me connected or not? So there is something called as mother tongue. So that language is very close to us. That's the reason in chapter 7, my dear friends, we talk about culture and language, how language and culture are related, and how they become essential in our communication. We communicate through verbal style, verbal communication. We also communicate through gestures, right? Gestures, expressions, with eyes, with some bodily movements. What are those called as? You see in the syllabus, verbal and non-verbal communication. And in that we also gain some knowledge about this protection of languages, endangered languages. In fact, there is one program run by the Kerala state government in association with NGOs. That program name is called as Namath Basai. See how beautiful you can learn a new language also. I'll give us a little training for that. Nama. In Telugu, some of you may be even understanding some Kannada. I am a Telugu person. If I say it is mine, what I call it is mana. Kannada people just reverse that. They say nama. Namade. This Isala Namade. What they call that IPL trophy Namade. Nama means Nama, mana, ours. Okay. Sorry. Then what is this? Have you heard about Tamil people saying when they are speaking, what they say? Pesari. Enna pesariya? Pesara. Basa. Pesa. Basa means speak. I speak. This program means in their language, tribal languages, Namad Basai means I speak. Where I am comfortable, when I go to Germany or Japan or England or America or in India, where I am comfortable? India. Again in India, your own states. Why you are comfortable? Because you are speaking what you speak, your mother tongue. Why it is called mother tongue, I will speak on a different occasion. We don't call it as father tongue or uncle tongue. We call it as mother tongue. Why we call mother tongue, I will give you a beautiful idea on that as well. So this Namath Basai program was designed and developed by the Kerala government in association with some NGOs to protect the tribal languages. How you can protect tribal languages? When you teach the tribal children in their mother tongue, especially primary stage, at least in the primary school level, if you can teach some subjects in their own mother tongue, that is the tribal languages, there are good chances that tomorrow, after the next generation or two, their languages will be protected. If not, these fellows will be English, Ginglish, Patani Tinglish, all that different languages will come and completely wipe out the native languages. That is the reason CCMB, you know how great is that CCMB? Prestigious institution in the country, CSIR. How come CCMB is working on a tribal language? You should now get the idea. If you see the seriousness of it, then you will understand. Acha, CSIR is working, CCMB is working on tribal languages. That means that can happen to us also tomorrow. Today it is the turn of the tribal languages. Tomorrow it can be us. Yeah? Right. Then we have another chapter in this, chapter number 8. Chapter number 8, research methods in anthropology. Importance of fieldwork in anthropology. Chapter number 8, paper 1. So, after covering these chapters, we will say, okay, part 1 is over. That means part 1 ka limit aa gaya. Now, we will go to part 2. Everybody please note down, these are the chapters that we will be talking about in part 1 in our scheme of division of the syllabus. Not UPSC way. 1.1 to 1.3, 2.1 to 2.5, 3, 4, 5, 7 and 8. Not 6. Okay. So if you are done, we'll go to the next one. Just let me sip. Well, what is the part number 2 name? Biological. Actually, this is a new name, but most people call it as physical. But physical name is outdated. Biological or physical anthropology or physical part. Or we call our part as physical part or biological part. So now you can easily guess what can be the chapters that can come in this. Chapters, now you see chapters 1.4 to 1.7. Everybody focus on these topics. 1.4, as I have referred to you earlier, the titles are Human Evolution and Emergence of Man, right? It is the title of chapter 1.4. Biological and cultural factors in human evolution. Then theories of organic evolution. And also among them pre-Darwinian, Darwinian and post-Darwinian theories. Again synthetic theory of evolution. Then some concepts related to evolution. So that is the chapter 1.4's purview. Then 1.5, primates. Primates. What are primates? Acha, before going to primates, I want to just remind you a small little discussion yesterday we had on 4-legged animals and 2-legged animals, right? Did I mention that? We started standing erect. So 1.4 deals with that topic. Some extraordinary beautiful ideas we will be talking about in 1.4. What are the factors which made us into humans? As simple as that. Earlier we were animals, pure animals, but we are also animals. But which animals? We are social animals, we are cultural animals. We have a tag now. Before animals, we have some description. We are social animals and cultural animals, whereas other animals are just animals. Though they are reared by us, though you call Pinky ko aaj cutting ke le jana hai. Pinky means your doggy or that catty. You take that fellow and give a nice cutting and you make a dress, uska shaadi bhi kar do aap. Right? Pilli kuda jayinchayandi, but that Pinky will not become. Can it become a cultural animal? That fellow will show its own nature. It will piss and it will go to shit and it will do all the animal things like we used to do thousands of years back. Even a child born in a family, what he behaves like? Is he a cultured animal or social animal right from day one? Or she? No. We give the training almost for 7 years, 6 years, 7 years, 10 years also sometimes. Even some children, even at about 8 years, 10 years, they still urinate in the bed. So what is all this? They also tend to behave like animals. Okay, so for that we impart, to make that animal into human being, what we give? We give a training. We give a training called culture, society, how to live in the society, what to speak, when to speak, how to address the elders, how to behave with the children, how to behave with the elders, what to eat, what not to eat, when to eat, how to eat. Hundreds of things, no, our parents and the society teaches us. So in this journey, we become from an animal to the, but long back, if you go to lakhs of years back, we were becoming gradually from four-legged animals to two-legged animals. Once we became this two-legged animals, or rather, we are having four legs only. This is also legs actually. But if I call these legs, people laugh today. These were legs once upon a time, but these have become, now that's the reason we call them as four limbs, F-O-R-E. We are having four limbs, F-O-U-R, but these are F-O-R-E, four limbs. These are hind limbs. And these four limbs have become free. Once they became free, they must be having some job, right? There is some purpose. So necessity is the mother of invention. What these hands have to do? In fact, these hands have scripted a new fate on our foreheads. Today we are here because of our hands. If these hands were not there, we would not have been sitting here or standing here and doing this. We would still be doing like that, like the animal way of life. We became from, as per anthropology, from animals to humans, from four-legged animals to two-legged animals, from natured animals to cultured animals. In fact, we have made earlier stones were available. We just used to pick up a stone and hit a bone and crack the bone open and used to, bone mein se aisa khiste na, what is that? Bone marrow. Earlier, bone marrow is a very tasty thing for this animal, and that fellow used to throw that bone away. And with the sharp edges, used to cut the animal skin and eat the meats. And again, fine. This again went for thousands of years, lakhs of years. But at one point of time, one of the fellow has thought, no, I must also make a tool rather than use an already existing object as a tool. This time onwards, I will make my own tool. That is the journey of our culture. That point of time, nobody knows exactly at what day and what time this happened. But it might not have been a sudden process. It might have been developing and evolving. That's the reason we use the word evolution. We have evolved. We have evolved bodily. We have evolved mentally, physically, everywhere. We have evolved in many dimensions. We have evolved in society. We have evolved in culture. That's the reason evolution is a key word. Even in chapter 6 that we are going to start with, the topic we start with is classical evolutionism. Evolutionism is based on the word evolution. We have evolved. So this is a direct attack on the people that we were created. On one fine day, God has created exactly on 4004 BC. Earth was created. In the morning, Earth was created. At about 9 p.m. in the night, man was created. Acha, man acha nahi lagta. Okay, create another woman. That's it. They will take care of the rest of the world. That was looking very, very odd for the scientists. The scientists never accepted. What sense is this? How can man or humans be created in one day? 4004 BC, night 9 p.m. Is it any joke? People may be believing. I told you yesterday, right? If you remember, people may have their own religious beliefs, with all due respect to those beliefs. But scientists did not accept this. Science, why science does not accept? Tell me. What science demands? First, see the language. Amitabh Bachchan ऐसा बोलता है. Where is the where is the evidence? Where is the proof? Show me. Have you seen that? Were you there on 4004 BC? Or have you got some evidence? But if the same scientist saying man has evolved for millions of years, when the same church people in England asked Darwin was a person who argued like this. Darwin said, presently I don't have evidence, but our future scientists will unearth and exact evidences. Of course, he has done some experiments and he has gone to Galapagos Islands in South America. He has got some theory. He has got some theory at least. But the scientific world has accepted him. But later, from 1940s onwards, skeletons started appearing. Skeletons means there are some words we use regularly in 1.4. A word called as, and we also use the word culture. This is the biological dimension of it. What about the cultural dimension? Already I told you what is this culture. When do you think culture has started? When man started making a tool out of a stone. So when we started making tools, we became cultured animals. So year after year, decade after year, hundreds and hundreds of evidences were tumbling upon. We were getting these evidences from Africa, Southern Africa, Eastern Africa, Asia, Europe, India also to some extent. That look, this humans, the so-called humans, today we are Homo sapiens, have not just come like that. 4004 BC, absolutely not acceptable. At least some few millions of years. And to tell you what, I don't know whether I've spoken to you or not. This earth that we are inhabiting right now, the planet Earth, the Earth's age, any guesses? What is the Earth's age? The scientists have proved that not only life on Earth, but Earth itself is having certain age based on some tests we have conducted on the rock samples in America, etc. We, the geologists, the scientists, have come to some understanding that Earth is almost about 4.5 billion years old. Earth was created or separate, it has occupied its own place in the solar system. And if you want to tell its age, what is the age? 450 crore years. And another beauty is life has evolved, started forming in this planet or on this planet. What time? 3.5 billion years ago, my dear friends. Again, this was, but who was speaking all about this? Who was speaking? The church people or the scientists? Scientists. How? On what basis? They are speaking on the basis of evidences. They have conducted some tests, scientific tests. And science does not believe just like that. Not believe anything just like that on the face of it. It asks for proofs, and with the proof they have said. And a human, our ancestors first time appeared in Africa between 6 million years to 4 million years ago, because some samples were even before 4 million years ago, especially in Africa. Who are these people? Our earliest ancestors. Who are these earliest ancestors? Who were more animal or ape-like and who are less of humans. They were just showing some human-like characters. But in the majority, they were having ape-like characters. So they also look like us, not exactly like this, full of body, hair, etc. And face, the skull is very small, the jaws are this much, and they were heavily rugged and slightly bent like this, not completely. They were like this slouched. And over a period of time, they became completely erect. Again, it took another 2-3 million years for that. And if anything is going like undertaking millions of years, that process, what do you call that? Evolution. Evolution does not happen overnight. It is not a one day's creation. According to anthropologists, human has evolved. That's the reason, see the title again. Human evolution and emergence of man. Man here means including woman. Every time man means, I'm not a misogynist fellow standing here. It's absolutely woman also. Right? Now, in 1.4 again we'll be talking about primates. Primates means, primates includes humans. And according to Carolus Linnaeus, some of you might have heard him in your 10th class biology. Carolus Linnaeus is called as the father of taxonomy. He said, humans sit at the top of this world. If you see, entire creation is a tree. If you see, life somewhere started here. Okay, what is this? 3.5 billion years ago. If life has started somewhere, it has slowly, gradually has got evolved. This tree of life, this is called tree of life. Some of them have evolved like this. And this tree of life has got so many branches. And somewhere, if this is a plant kingdom or plantae, people call it as plantae, and this is animalia or animal kingdom, we are sitting here at the top. Now we are Homo sapiens. So we have evolved from single-celled organisms. Millions or rather billions of years ago, life was in the form of simple organisms, single-celled organisms. Today, if I describe, now you tell me whether I'm right or wrong, okay? Everybody participate. If I say I'm walking from here to here, I'm a bundle of cells walking on the stage. Am I not? Yes or no? I'm a bundle of cells walking on the stage. You are a bundle of cells sitting in the chair. Everybody is a collection of cells. Everything that we do now, respire, we are doing respiration. We are when we had lunch at 1 o'clock, we are now digesting. Our cells are digesting. Our cells are respiring. Everything is done by our cells. Earlier, 3.5 billion years ago, it was only one cell. Looks like shocking and surprising. You non-bio students are first time this year listening to this topic. But we will, when we go to this chapter 1.4, explain how beautiful scientists have unraveled these mysteries. They have recreated the conditions in which this life has evolved. In laboratory they have done, and they have done it successfully. They have proved to the world that look, this life has evolved. Somewhere it has originated and it has evolved. It has not just been created with a magic wand in a day. That is people's belief, but beliefs do not give us food. If you get a high fever, will you go to a tantric or mantrik or a doctor? What is doctor giving? Is he giving some mantra or tantra, tayatu, tasil, whatever, tasli, talisman, or he gives a medicine? Medicine, is it produced just like that or done in a laboratory? It has to undergo clinical trials for years together. Produce a molecule, produce a drug. Some companies take 20 years. Can you imagine? 20 years. Especially anti-cancer drugs and etc. They undergo clinical trials and test 1, test 2, test 3. Hundreds of tests they undergo. Then the doctor prescribes. Then it's cured. That's the reason we are strongly grounded in science. Especially in this class, we'll be speaking purely science. Of course, we'll also give respect to people who speak in a non-scientific language also. We don't belittle them. No, you're all talking nonsense. We don't say that. Okay, and some more chapters. Chapter 9 also we'll be touching upon. From next comes 9.1 in our part 2. after 1.4 to 1.7, I'll give you the break, don't worry. You can speak for 5 to 10 minutes, absolutely no problem. 9.1 to 9.8, then chapter 10, then chapter 11 point to 11.1 to 11.3. And maybe kindly for being rude also, sometimes I become rude also. Please don't take the negative side of it, the positive side of, because the moment you have taken the decision to appear for civil services, your personality started evolving. When I am speaking, kindly I expect that you listen. Or if you want to speak, I'll just relax, no problem. When you are speaking, I keep quiet, as simple as that. I give respect when you speak. Is that a deal? Even if you have not joined also, I don't have any problem. If you're not joining also, I don't have any. It's not about anything. I told you, my cup of tea is completely different. You would not have seen a person like me before. You will not see a person like me in the next few years also. That is a guarantee. I can give it in writing. So, you are here to make a difference to your life, and you are damn serious about it. You are in a battlefield. You are in a battlefield, I am telling you, my dear friends, because the life outside is not so rosy. All these years, your parents have taken all the efforts to raise you like this. My mother has told me very clearly, I can't, afford your education beyond 10th class. I used to go to tuitions and private homes and used to give tuitions on a bicycle and come back. I know the value of life. So if you value your parents' time and earnings and your time, you are sitting in this class for 2.5 hours is like your day 2 of your tapasya, which has begun yesterday. I told you yesterday, right? Who was that great man who told, give me 6 months. I've made into my slogan today. Whereas our great Subhash Chandra Bose has said, give me your blood, I'll give you a nation. I'm not asking your blood. Sorry. I'm only asking how much? 6 months of your time and your rapt attention. Kitna attention hona hai bhai? Not even a single thing I allow. Usually I promote people who speak. People who ask to leave actually. But I promote them. I give a lot of respect to them. I promote them to the first row. So it is up to you. You want to get promoted, you kindly continue your discussion. Whether it's a demo class or real class, that doesn't make any difference to me. Please, okay? With all due respect to your understanding, I hope you have taken this in the right spirit. And imagine that only you are sitting in this class, you don't even move your head for the time being. Unless it is extremely urgent, extremely, some emergency has come, then you can speak. So my treatment is completely different. I don't know about others. So 11.1 to 11.3, all these are your part of your syllabus. You can have a look at them. We'll also be talking about some ideas like in chapter 9 is like heart of the physical anthropology, where you will be talking about the dreaded part called genetics. In fact, genetics is the most easiest thing when you properly understand. Genetics is all about ourselves. Again, we are studying home. Yesterday we have known what an anthropologist does. An anthropologist is a person who gossips about himself. What is the modern understanding? An anthropologist is the one who is studying about himself. You are studying about yourself. Not some for UPSC exam. UPSC ko side mein chodo thodi der ke. Just forget about that. First, you are understanding who am I. If I am a male, what I am. What is my maleness? If I am a female, what is my femaleness? You will understand this. What is the role of a mother? How these matriarchal systems and patriarchal systems have come. How a mother rears a child. How mother is important. How a woman is important. After this sessions, after these classes, your respect for women will increase a lot. The respect for men will increase a lot. I am giving a guarantee. The respect for other person will understand. You start listening to the other person. Then the other person starts listening to you. You are making new bonds and friendships. Life is on a highway. I am not exaggerating even a bit. This is the truth. Okay? So you inculcate this understanding about ourselves, what we are. Just now I told you we are cells. In cells, what we are? Again, we are having some copies, right? I am a copy of my parents. I have my features of my father and mother and my uncle and my aunt and many grandfather, grandparents. How it is possible? Is this a kind of just copying and pasting or something else is happening? So we approach the subject in a completely different manner. You have not seen this approach in either in your school or college. That is a guarantee number 2. Some kind of approaches that we take in this class is so original that you have never experienced earlier. So we understand ourselves better in every angle in an original way. We raise some questions and answer them original thinking. We start brainstorming and a lovely journey will be possible. Now after 11 we will be talking about chapter 12 as well, which will be the last chapter in our physical or biological part, which is something like applications of anthropology. In already I told you in 11 etc. we talk about men, women, especially women. We try to understand women better. And our understanding of women a sea change after listening to this. How a woman's life is orchestrated by nature. How a woman's life is scripted by culture and society. How important a woman is to the society. And then our understanding goes to a different plane. Now let me allow ourselves into part 3. We have about 10-15 minutes for the break. In part 3, we'll be speaking about anthropological theories. Part 3 is anthropological theories or thoughts. Some people call it as simply thought, but in the syllabus it is given as theories. What are these theories? Earlier, if you remember, just now, 5 minutes back, I was speaking about Darwin. When the clergy people asked for proof, he said, I don't have evidences right now, but I have a theory. Okay, what is the theory name? The theory of natural selection. And any science, without a theory, it is not possible. What is the other name of theory? I'll make things very simple for you. Theory means it looks like, okay, theory means likhne ka, there is a practical, there is a theory. As long as you're in college, you have only 2 ideas, right? I have something which is written and which is to be practical. Theory is different. More or less the same idea here. Here, theory has got different names. Theory means it can be a thesis, it can be a proposition, it can be an idea, it may be a principle, it may be a doctrine, or it may be a concept. So I have given some 6 or 7 synonymous words for this. Theory means somebody is theorizing. I am proposing that look, every action has an equal and opposite reaction. That's only I am saying. What I am saying? Every action has an equal and opposite reaction. This is what it is called as theory. Whether you call it as a law or principle or whatever, it is up to you. But what I am saying through my mouth, one idea I am sharing. That is called a theory. But later, if you say theory, people say, is that so? I don't agree. Immediately you say, how come? Show me. Then I come with some examples, some proofs, some other experiments or studies. Okay, I have gone in social sciences like anthropology, right? Anthropology is a social science. By the way, if you have not written somewhere, please write down. Anthropology is what? It's a social science. So it's a science basically, but it studies the society. So since it studies the society, it's called as a social science. A social science also should have theory. On what basis you are giving a theory? Look, I have studied this society. I have gone to Andamans. I have studied the Andaman society. Then I am writing this theory. Now it is up to you whether you accept or not. But I have made my job. So if you see, many names are given in that chapter 6. You see, there are many theories. Classical evolutionism. What are the names given there? E.B. Tyler Morgan Fraser. I told you again and again, I'm repeating, for the first 3 days, 4 days, 1 week, you may not understand even a single thing. Absolutely, you are healthy. Your temperature is not rising, your BP is not shooting up. You are absolutely cool. Make yourself cool. Don't worry at all. On the 8th day, some people realize it in 6th day, some people as an 8th day, 9th day. That's it. And all the pieces starts fitting. All the pieces, whatever I'm speaking on the board, writing on the board, will become obvious to you. We have a theory called classical evolutionism. In that, we'll be talking about these people. These people said, okay, look, I am talking about classical evolutionism. Who are these people? Tyler, Morgan, Fraser. There is another theory, historical particularism, diffusionism, Franz Boas. Okay, again in that we have several other schools like British, German, American. Then we have a theory, functionalism, structural functionalism, Malinowski. Then we have A.R. Radcliffe Brown. So many names will come. Initially, as I told you, these names you will find it slightly difficult in the initial days. Next, we have structuralism, neo-evolutionism. Structuralism, we have Claude Lévi-Strauss, and we have got Edmund Leach. Okay, so these are the people who gave these theories. So on what they have given these theories, discuss in a detail. What exactly are they trying to say? They have studied the cultures of the people, societies, and they have come up with their own understanding. Okay, and we do have some other theories like culture and personality. You see, culture and personality. That means there is a connection between culture of the people and their personality. Our behavior, our character, whatever personality we have, is actually based on our culture. Our culture and personalities are related. That is that. Some other people talked about symbolic and interpretive theories. Symbolic is based on a word, symbol. You know what is a symbol? If I am wearing a black badge here and coming to class, here the black badge is very clearly visible. Clearly, it's a very big badge. What is a black badge symbolic of? It is actually symbolic of some protest. Correct? I am protesting something. Some people wear black badge. Some people carry red flag. In that movie, Rajnikant is actually trapped in the railway track. That girl runs and she takes off the chunni. I don't know what it is. Then she flashes red color. And luckily, she is wearing that red color wala on that day. See the directors, this thing. And the train stops. What is that red doing? It is a symbol. It's a symbol. Stop. Green light. Stop. What in Hyderabad, everybody knows. They don't care for red signal. Kuch nahi chalta rehta hai. When they come under a truck, then they'll go to the wahan se jaake re mere ko brake lagana. When they go to heaven or hell, then they will realize. Are like that. So what is red? Symbolic of it. Symbolic. They say our culture is symbolic. Whatever now you are eating, so symbolic. Eat for example, in our community, I will not reveal my community even after 1 year also. Okay. In my community, they say you have to cannot serve empty rice on a plate. Khali rice nahi dalna. You have to put some curry or some chutney, then only rice. Even if you ask, they will not give answer. If I ask my wife, she doesn't know. If I ask her father, or they don't know. My father, my mother already have gone up. So even they are not in a position to answer. They will answer. So still we are continuing. Even in your life also you must be doing many things which you don't know why you are doing. Just because your parents have told or your grandparents have told. Sometimes they are symbolic. Many times there is science behind it, but we don't know. But if we ask questions, what they say, chup chap muh band kar aur muskan dino. Right? Say, no, when we ask questions, our parents say anything, just follow. Is that all? Symbol. There are so many things we do symbol. Symbol means something stands as us. You might have seen a long back, I don't know, seen it. Roja movie. Roja movie, the hero runs and tries to grab our flag, which is burning. The terrorists in Kashmir are actually burning the flag, and this fellow jumps to flag. What is that flag symbol? It's just a cloth, no? It's a three colored. But is it just a colored cloth for us? Absolutely. Symbolic of our nationalism, nation, our own, something which is very close to our hearts. It's emotional. We are emotionally connected to flag, national anthem. So it is what then? Is it just like that or symbolic? Culture symbolic. When we do emotions, is it not culture? We speak something, we behave in a particular fashion. It's our culture. So culture is symbolic. Scholars. Like that, there are many beautiful ideas that we are going to discover. This journey, I'm telling you, this is a benefit for you. Whether you are getting selected or not, that's a secondary thing. Whether you are becoming a good human being or not, is the point. Whether you are able to study and understand our society firsthand. We are first trying to understand ourselves better. Ourselves means myself and neighbors, family members, society. Through the angles of gender, biology, sex, language, religion, culture, these lenses will try to understand better. On that note, we'll go for a break, approximately. We'll finish off the rest of the three parts overview. And as I told you, the next session tomorrow, taking up actual introduction to that particular theories parts, and actual classes will take up the discussion. Let's go ahead. Need a break. Now friends, you can clearly see in your syllabus copy that what are the chapters that we are trying to cover here. Okay, under our part number 4, prehistoric archaeology. This is also known as archaeological anthropology. If you want to find the term archaeological anthropology, please go to your paper 1, chapter 1.3. Just go to chapter 1.3, paper 1. In that you will find out archaeological anthropology. Have you found that? Yes? Because the pioneers of anthropology hundreds of years back have divided the subject matter of anthropology into 4 major divisions. The 4 major divisions are, you can see that 1.3a, social cultural anthropology, 1.3b, physical or biological anthropology, 1.3c, archaeological anthropology, 1.4d, linguistic anthropology. Sometimes linguistic mundu enkal untadi. 1.3c kya hai? 1.3c ila paper 1, chapter 1 lo kindaki randi. 1.3, did you find it out? ABC they have given, no? Major divisions of anthropology. So kuch gadbad hai kya? हाँ? एक आदमी बोल नहीं सकते जी आप लोग? What nonsense is this? Was given this syllabus here. I'm not aware. I take this as my mistake. This is my mistakes because I have not seen this. This is not the original syllabus. I think someone is carrying one book. Where is that book? वो book निकालो जी. In that you find, no, you keep it with you. Is 1.3 there in that one paper, chapter 1? Same book उधर वही copy निकाल के दी क्या? Okay, forget about that. I'll give tomorrow. We'll give your actual copy, actual syllabus. This is unnecessarily concocted syllabus. So whatever it is, fine. You have written down this, no? Whatever I have written on the board, that is actual syllabus. Because you should know where you are hitting. You can't shoot in the dark. That is our basic idea. So if you just prepare just like that, you don't have the focus that is needed. So this prehistoric archaeology that you are studying, because chapter numbers are important. And in 1.8 paper 1, we have this topic called prehistoric archaeology. In that's the reason I can see some perplexed expression in your faces. I was not going very deep into that. I thought you were trying to find out, but it's in the seconds it can happen, and still that mystery is there. You have to have those numbers, very important. You'll realize that when I go about the lectures, every time I have a habit of, you see in 1.3 we have discussed, again I go to chapter 2.1 paper 2, again we should not be caught surprised. In this we will be studying about some dating techniques, not the dating techniques that we use in our life. Okay. When we were growing up, we never used this. We never knew this word dating. हमको dating waiting कुछ भी नहीं मालूम. That's a different story. I'll come to that topic. It will come differently later. What is this dating about? What is the word you know in this word dating? हाँ, उसमें क्या date? What is the word you know in that word dating? Not dating per se. Dating में और एक word है. What, there is another word. On which word it is based? Date. Earlier I said this world or this earth is about 4.5 billion years old. On what basis? What is that called as? When I'm giving some time, it is called date. I am giving a date to it. If this pen is found 100 feet below and I take it out and say, okay, acha, I am coming from 2898 AD Kalki time. I've gone forward. Now I am in Kalki 2898. I dig 100 feet below and I find this pen. I say, oh, this might have belonged to 2020 AD. What I'm giving? This date. So in archaeology, in archaeological anthropology, in paleoanthropology, we try to date both the fossils and artifacts. There are two words. Already we have spoken about this word fossils, right? What are fossils? How did I say that our ancestors lived in Africa 40 lakh years ago, 4 million years ago? On what basis I have told you? Bones, fossilized bones. There is a normal bone, the bone which is about 20, 30, 10,000 year old, it is not fossilized. The bones become yellowish in color. After living in earth for lakhs of years, millions of years, that bone becomes yellowish in color. That you can call it as fossilized. Sometimes it is trapped. You have a lot of sediment deposited outside. Sometimes it is found in caves, limestone caves. Sometimes in calcium, some kind of a compound forms around it. The scientists have to literally dig it open. They will take 2 to 3 months sometimes to move crystal after crystal, layer after layer. Then that fossil is taken out. Skull, it may be skull, it may be jaw, it may be this humerus, it may be a pelvic part. Based on that fossil, they test that through their techniques and give a date to the fossil. Then what is this? Is it an organic material? Is it a bone material? No. This is something created by humans. So whatever humans create, this bench or this podium, this dais, this pen, anything created by humans are called as artifacts. So do we have to date them as well or not? So the job of paleoanthropologists and archaeologists is to date certain objects found from the earth when they excavate things. When archaeologists dig deep, what is the main job of an archaeologist? Dig inside. How this Indus Valley civilization or Harappan civilization was unearthed? It was excavated layer by layer, brick by brick. It has taken dozens of years for them, not a 1 day, 1 month exercise, 1 year exercise. It has taken 2 decades, 3 decades. Even today, some sites are not unearthed. There are many cities lying inside the earths which belong to the IVC age. So once they dig out, what is the next job for these archaeologists? What is the next job? Dates. First we have to understand which date it belongs to. Why we are so bothered about date? Is it a funny activity? Or to keep it in the museum? See, we take pride in our ancestral property, right? If I have suddenly say some fellow says, give me a registered post on document, sir, you got that Haveli, your grandfather has left you. I'll be going crazy, right? Or not? I get that Haveli, big bungalow. Do I cherish it or not? Tomorrow I may make it into a five-star hotel. That's a different story. Or my grandchildren will sell it off and make it into a museum. But for me, it's a treasure, no? Anything of the past which is human, which is a human possession, is so important. We try to preserve it, protect it, and we try to draw the lessons from it. We try to understand how our ancestors lived. That is the most important task. Whenever we see, we talk about Indus Valley, right? Harappa, Manjadaro. Don't we get some kind of goosebumps, some kind of feeling of nostalgia? We are traveling back in the time and we are trying to see how these people lived, what kind of jewelry they wore, what kind of clothes they were wearing, what kind of lifestyle they have led, what food they have eaten, which crops they have grown, which animals they hunted. Everything is interesting. So, in archaeology also, the same thing is done. We try to see where our roots began. Earlier I told you we are social and biological organisms, right? We are what? We are biological organisms and we have evolved. Today we are Homo sapiens. Earlier we were just Australopithecus. If you see 1.6 in one of the chapter we have got this name Australopithecus. One of the names of our ancestors. First time these ancestors who lived about 4 million years ago showed some human characters. More than 90% they are apes. For about 10% they are showing human characters, human like. So these are called as, every scientist have agreed that Australopithecus is our first ancestor. Maybe earlier also they might have lived, but we don't have evidences. As far as today's knowledge is concerned, our ancestors have begun their journey in Africa at about 4 million years ago. About approximately. Again, exactly we can't say. How it is possible that Australopithecus lived at about 4 million years ago? It is possible because of the fossils available and we have dated them. The dating techniques. And after 4 million years ago came another stage where we started making tools. I told you earlier, right? Our hands got freed. We became a bipedal organism from a four-legged animal to two-legged animal. We started making use of the hands. Then we started doing what? We started making tools with these hands. Tool making has made us into a next level. This happened at about 2 million years ago. Again at about 1 million years ago, another stage has come where we have started making fire. Fire was invented. At about 5 lakh years ago or 3 lakhs years ago, we have made clothing. About 10,000 years ago, we started agriculture. At about 5,000 years ago, we started inventing metals. And about 1,000 years ago, we have, in between this time, between 4,000 to 5,000 years ago, we started living in cities. This is civilization. And stage by stage, you see everywhere there was only one thing that was happening. What was that one thing that was happening? One word. Evolution. So we have evolved biologically, we have evolved socially, we have evolved culturally. So this entire journey is depicted in these chapters. Chapter 1.4 to 1.7, our biological evolution. You can see that. Give me one copy, somebody one copy, so that I can take it as a base, benchmark. You have that book now with you? अच्छा नहीं book में भी यही material है ना, same point, different है. This is an overview, not a syllabus. It's me. I don't need this. Relax, can't even understand what is there. So what I was saying, in these archaeological anthropology or prehistoric archaeology, we try to understand what are these artifacts, what are these human things or cultural remnants. For example, they have made some houses, they made some pottery, they made some cities, everything. They have made some coins, some kinds of tools, bone tools, stone tools, everywhere. Africa, Asia, Europe, not in America. America was called, America is a different story. But majorly in these three continents, Asia, Africa and Europe, human civilizations have picked up. Human culture has evolved. Later we became civilized. We started living in cities, agriculture was invented, and there is no looking back from humanity has arrived. So this extraordinary journey has to be understood not just through history alone. If you see carefully, what is the title we have put for the part? Part name kya hai? Prehistoric archaeology. Now carefully observe our keyword approach. Again starting. Prehistoric. Again cut it. Prehistoric. What is historic then? Pre means before. Before history. Before history bhi kuch hota hai kya? We have anything before history, then what is history? Is the story? Like we were told in the right till the 10th class, his story. History means his story. What has Akbar done? What has Alexander done? What has Guptas have done? Is it that story? History? No, history is the capturing of our rich legacy. Till that backward in time where writing was begun. Very clearly I am telling you, very clearly you have to listen again. I repeat. History is that study of humans which relies upon or which is based on writing. That means written records, whether they are inscriptions. If you go to the State Museum, I don't know how many people know that there is a museum that there in Hyderabad. So please visit. If I get a chance, I'll take all you of, if you are all ready, I'll take you to the museum as well. There are certain there are inscriptions. For example, this wall is there. This wall is about 800 AD. It's found somewhere in Kurnool or somewhere. The archaeologists have picked up this entire thing and they have put it in the museum. What you can see there? Inscriptions. Manuscripts. Manu means man, written by man. On palm leaves scriptures. Inscriptions. In other paper, etc. So written records, whatever we get from our sources, different sources, we call them as history. Then what about prehistory? Something before history. And how much is that? Can we actually put a break there? There is no timeline we can cut. In fact, we cannot cut the time. Humans have just invented time such that they can understand things easily. That's it. Actually, can we cut time? Absolutely. There is no force on earth or heaven or hell. There is no force that you can understand, can cut time. But for our purpose, we date things, we give some time. At this point of time, till this point of time, it is history. Somewhere here, I told you, 1000 years back or 1000 BC. That means today, if you add about 3000 years ago, this was the written part. So before that, this is history. Roughly whatever we know from about 3000 years ago is history. Approximately, I'm saying approximately, not exactly. Then what is the journey that you have made all these lakhs of years, millions of years? What is it called as? Prehistory. And I told you there is one point of time, approximately 2 million years ago, we started creating culture. So this is our actually prehistoric archaeology. If we go beyond that, beyond this, here humans were using tools. Humans were using some stones. They used to pick up a stone and hit the bone or some animal meat. then used to eat it. But they never made any tools. They have not made any tools. They were just using the existing raw material. That means that is not prehistory for us. So prehistory also ends at some time. Approximately 2.5. In some areas, like in Ethiopia, there is a place called Kadargona and Hadar. Kadargona and Hadar region. Some stone tools were even were found to be between 2.5 million years ago. So maximum we will cut here. So this is the prehistoric archaeology part. This is prehistory. And what is this? Here, this part, history. This is prehistory. And what is this? Even before. So this is archaeological anthropology. So you can call it in a different name, archaeological anthropology. Some of you may not understand some words. Absolutely okay. It is absolutely okay. 100% fine. No problem at all. You can always come and ask me. I'll explain in another dimension. So something beyond this, you can have to give some name. Okay. Acha. What about the fossils that were found? There were no tools, only fossils. It is called. Can you guess? Paleo, old. Anthropology में कौन छुपा है? Who is there? Ever anthropology law. Anthropos, humans. Logy studying. We are studying old humans. Old humans means humans even beyond 2.5 million years. Paleo, old. Anthropos, humans. That means we know that about 4 million years ago some people existed on this planet. We have got some fossils from Africa. That means they are our ancestors. It is our duty, our responsibility to study them. We cannot throw that skeleton somewhere and say, okay, fine with it. It is not right, no? When we find some, yesterday I was seeing in some WhatsApp or somewhere, I think my daily feed, news feed, in Gujarat, I don't know how many of you have come across it, absolutely less chance. In Gujarat, they have destroyed a 2,000-year-old site with the bulldozers. It pains. For our kind of people, it pains. For the commercial fellows, doesn't matter. Arey nikal do usko, 5-story building banayenge. We'll earn money. People are only interested in that. Nobody is interested in archaeology. If you say I'm studying archaeology. Come again, archaeology. Acha, archaeology ko forget about archaeology. If somebody asks, what are you preparing? What is your subject? Anthropology. They said, what is anthropology? Now, you will experience this. Your uncles, your aunts, your relatives, friends. The moment you say, I'm studying anthropology, they say, anthropology, what is this? I have never heard this. So, the jobs that the other people do not want to do, we have to do. Because it is about ourselves, it is our culture, our people, our ancestors, our story. This entire thing is our story. Anthropology is a story of man. If somebody asks me, what is anthropology? I say it's a story of man. There is a story behind this. It's as extraordinary and as enthusiastic and vibrant as Mahabharata or your Kalki or your Bahubali. I'm not exaggerating. It is as energetic and enthusiastic and vibrant and like our. You want to only experience that. That's it. Chalo, we'll go to the next part. Part number 5. Part 5 is about Indian society and culture. And you might have noticed in the earlier slide, I have written on the left side, okay, paper 1, 1.8, paper 2, 1.1 to 1.3. So, only prehistoric archaeology has got 2 papers involved. All the other three parts, anthropological theories part, then social cultural part and biological part, only paper 1. Here from this part onwards, completely paper 2. So we have paper 2 topics only. What are the chapters? Chapter 2, chapter 3, chapter 4 and 5. Chapter 2 deals with, your linguistic and there is no point in actually speaking. Your information is wrong. So I am just telling you orally, you can note down. So this topic deals with the ethnic and linguistic elements in Indian population. What is the main idea? Okay, I told you in the curtain raiser yesterday that anthropology study enables you to become a better person. Correct? Better person. I add one more word, better Indian. Will become like you'll get a true India's knowledge. What exactly is this true knowledge? I'll tell you. We go to chapter 2 and try to understand 2 dimensions. The ethnic and linguistic elements of Indian population. Elements is a common word. Ethnic and linguistic elements of Indian population. What do you mean by ethnic? Many of you do not know. Ethnic means when during the college days that word comes up. I come in my ethnic wear. Boys go in the lungis and kurta pajama. Girls come in sari, half sari, etc. Right? That ethnic you know. Or when you go to a 5-star hotel or 3-star hotel, they say ethnic cuisine. This is a new word. But in anthropology, in social sciences, ethnic means the better polished word. You can write down in your notes. Day 1, your journey evolution begins. Ethnic is a polished word or a better expression for the term racial. If I say suddenly what race you belong, you will immediately get up and you are ready to catch my collar, right or no? Yes or no? Answer to do bhai. I told you my classes are interactive. Itna subject mein kho gaye ho. If I say I don't like your race, then you will get after 5:30 there, no, I will come with my 100 people. All my race fellows will come and you will be destroyed. Right? Can I talk to you in racial terms today? Say absolutely no. Absolutely not. In English language, the word race is slowly coming down. Okay, journalists will report. One black person is killed in America by the police officials, then they have to write the word because they are reporting some injustice, some wrong thing. So based on racial reason, this fellow was killed. That is okay. But if I say your race is inferior, my race is superior, then I'll be punished. I'll be attacked by the society. Because race is wrong. Acha, in chapter 9.5 in paper 1 we talk about that. Chapter 9.5 paper 1, there is a word called race and racism. Race and racism. This is a commentary. Somebody has given their own commentary that I've got disconnected with it. Connection cut off. I can't make my connection with that. So forget about that. So definitely you will get this idea. So sir, we are talking about one word called racial. What is this race? Anthropologists also got this doubt. What is race? Are humans divided into white race, yellow race? They have even given colors of the skin. Based on the color of the skin, they have divided humanity into 3 races. Xanthoid, Negroid, then Leucoderms or Caucasoid. Caucasoid means white skin fellows. Leucoderms, leuco means white. You have leukocytes, erythrocytes. Leukocytes means white blood cells. Leuco means white. Leucoderms, derm means skin, white skin people. Xanthoderms, xantho means yellow, yellow skin people. Melanoderms, black colored skinned people, black skinned people. That means entire world is simply black and white. Is this a reality? And if people just classify and leave it, it's a different story. But people started discriminating. If you are black in color, your life is inferior. That's it. People have written an epitaph on your fate on your matha, on your forehead. And we spend hundreds of gaya, thousands and lakhs of rupees to become white. What nonsense is this? And that fellow say fair and lovely, fair and lovely. Oh, people have put a case. Now they have removed fair and lovely, fair and glowly. Huh? What? Glow and lovely. But people will apply that paste. Why? Because if I am black in color, nobody will marry me. Absolutely ridiculous. In fact, black color is the most strong color in these conditions. I am not favoring someone. That is, we have adapted for lakhs of years into one color. It's a result of evolution. Have one particular skin color. That means it's a result of adaptation and evolution. We have adapted to these conditions. That means it is good for health. And I'm not exaggerating. Whenever I come out, no, I remove this for polish purpose. I'm wearing this. Otherwise, I'm also very rugged fellow. I remove this. I put my handcuffs like this. Why? Any logic? Which logic dikh raha hai aapko? Jaldi, fast, think like an anthropologist. Today onwards, you make a mantra. I want more sun. I am a man, I'm already married, I don't have any problem. Unless I'm looking for a second marriage. I want to maintain my tan. Sorry, tan, I can't be tanned, I'll be blackened. The more black I become, I better. Why? Because today, ask any doctor, if you are a doctor here, some of you, you know, the world is suffering with a very big silent killer. Vitamin D deficiency. Every one of you also in this class has vitamin D deficiency. I can bet on it. Unless you go to a doctor, you don't know. Unless you feel some symptoms, you don't know. And the symptoms are also not so obvious. And it has got debilitating effect in other areas. You become weak. Your skin becomes, loose. You feel fatigue. Don't get interest in things. You are lazy, lethargic. It is not that Hyderabad climate आपको नहीं जचा. It's not that. It is of vitamin D deficiency. Because you remember how long, when did you play in the sun for 2 to 3 hours continuously? Remember? Forgot playing or at least exposing ourselves to sun long back. We always sit in the ICU rooms or classrooms, or we are in the hostels or reading rooms. That's it. So ask any doctor. I'm very serious. It's not any maze ki baat nahi hai. It's a damn serious thing. And skin color has got direct connection with the vitamin D absorption and processing. You are healthy if your skin is dark, and your bones will become very strong. So this color of the skin, unfortunately, has been miscommunicated. The more white you are, the more better you are. For white fellows in Europe and America, it is perfectly okay. White people in America and Europe, it's perfectly okay. We can't be white in India. Okay. Especially again, you see, North India people are more fairer than South India. Yes or no? Largely, by and large. I'm not talking about individuals. By and large. North India fair, South India slightly dark. Why? Tell me. Is it we are like this, or we eat that food? Is it about food? We have more we are in the tropical side. If you apply geography, we are in the tropical side of the earth. They are more near to the temperate climates. There wheat grows, here rice grows. If we eat continuously roti for 10 days, pakad lega, kuch to gadbad ho jayega pet mein. Right or wrong? In Delhi I have suffered a lot. For them, they can't eat rice this much. At least they say, itna rice kha raha hai tu. They get crazy. How can you eat so much rice? They can't eat so much rice. Only this much rice they eat. Why? Because it's about geographical conditions, culture is, and again it is because of environment, and it is anthropology. We are talking anthropology, nothing nonsense here. And all this is a part of this ethnic background. What kind of ethnic backgrounds we had in India? In India, we are having different colors of the skin. We speak different languages. We have to know our country first. before understanding the civil services requirement. In chapter 3, we'll talk about a more dynamic, ever dynamic topic called as caste can make or break your chances also in many areas. If you belong to certain community, if you get into IAS, you need not even go and take the salary. Your future father-in-laws already, I mean, if male, I'm talking about male people. So future father-in-laws are ready with their briefcases and bank locker numbers, and they are hitting the UPSC numbers. UPSC में कुछ को friendly कर लेते हैं. They'll take out the names. Same caste people, they are ready with crores of rupees to be given as dowry. Crores of rupees. Caste is behind. Caste is behind appointments. Even if you are an IAS officer also, your caste is important. It is a fact. I mean, record. And every child knows in this country how caste has gone so deep in our system. It has become part and parcel of the system. And we shout the slogans, remove the caste, attack the caste. It's okay, it is fine, we can try for that. But it has got so deep and deep that it is never easy to die. I mean, never easy to say goodbye in caste. I'll give a very comedy example. మీరు చూసే ఉంటారు ఇన్ తెలుగు ఎస్పెషల్లీ అల్లు అర్జున్ మూవీ ఇద్దరు అమ్మాయిలతో దేర్ ఇస్ అ డైలాగ్ బిట్వీన్ ద హీరో అండ్ ద గర్ల్. దట్ గర్ల్ ఈస్ అ బ్రాహ్మిన్ గర్ల్. ఓకే, హీ సేస్ ఐ విల్ మ్యారీ యూ. దెన్ హీ సేస్ ఏమిట్లు మీరేమిట్లు, దట్ మీన్స్ వాట్ కైండ్ ఆఫ్ క్యాస్ట్ యు ఆర్. యాస్, హీ సేస్ బాపనీస్. కమ్ అగైన్, హీ సేస్ బాపనీస్. వాట్ ఈస్ దిస్ బాపనీస్? జాపనీస్ లాగా. No, he says converted Brahmins. I remember that exactly, word to word. Right? Converted Brahmins. Converted Christians ఉంటారు కానీ converted Brahmins ఏంటండి? He makes fun of the girl to just befriend the girl and get into the marriage level, next level. Okay, entire thing is only for fun. But the practical thing, let us come to the ground reality. Have you seen any converted Brahmins? Anyone, actually he belongs to some caste, other caste, non-Brahmin caste. He says, I have converted. Have you heard any time in your life, ask your parents also, grandparents also, after going home, have you seen any conversion within the caste? Between the caste. You have seen conversions across the religions. One can become from Hindu to Muslim or Christian to Islam or whatever. But in India, the fact is so clear that one takes birth in a caste and he or she dies in the caste. Even the Supreme Court has acknowledged the Indira Sawhney case 1952. One has to be born in the caste, you will die in the caste. You cannot change your caste. You can change or add some caste name, but you cannot change the caste as such, because so many things are linked to your caste. It's not just an identity, it is something more than an identity. It gives you a lot and lot, it takes away lot and lot. In fact, gains are more than losses in a caste. So people cling on to the caste, even if you go, I don't know, to 2898. Presently we are in 2024. Are you not resonating? Ever చూడలేదా? బోర్ పట్టింది ఆ మూవీ. 898, about 800 years advanced. Even perhaps if we go to that time, I don't know, it may be there. I'm just thinking it may, because this kind of a difference in treatment, identity is still there. So we will go very deep into the caste system, just like the way we have understood our racial origins, our linguistic base. This country will understand what exactly is our caste, how this caste system has come, and we'll also understand some ideas like, of course this is about Indian anthropologists, emergence and growth of anthropology in India. In chapter 5 and chapter 7 in tribal India, of course, we'll talk about religion. to some extent, religion also, how religions have come. Then in chapter 3 also, there is a concept of religions. Here also we'll talk about, and in part 6 also in chapter 7 we'll talk about some ideas on religion. So caste, religion, race, language, everything which is the core of humanity, we will understand. In paper 1 in general, paper 2 from India's angle. Are you clear in that? Whatever I'm trying to sound, yesterday was somewhat distant. It was not like opening up. Now today I think I can see in your body language, you are getting more absorbed into that. And in this journey, when you take some more steps forward, you will now start appreciating, acknowledging and understanding. I repeat, you start appreciating, acknowledging and understanding every small thing that you do in the life. Whether it is your food or anything, start appreciating. Get the real value of it, then you start. Not just like that. And finally, before I wind up, we have the last part, the discussion, part number 6, that is tribal India. Again, tribal India, we have given a name, or India's tribes, or tribes in India, tribals in India, any name you can actually take. And in this, again, completely it is of paper 2 only. Paper 2, chapter 6, then 7, 8 and 9. Though there are sub parts like chapter 6.1 to 6.3, 7.1 to 7.3, 8.1 to 8.2, 9.1 to 9.3, but by and large there are 4 chapters only dominated by the tribes. We will understand again in the same way these tribes people who the society doesn't care about. If some tribal people dies in Maharashtra's Gadchiroli district, nobody bothers. But in somebody in this main city, somebody dies after malnutrition, people immediately press wale aa jate hain. So it becomes headline. If in the middle of the city of Hyderabad, a young boy, an infant dies of malnutrition, you know what is malnutrition? Lack of food. It makes a big headline. But every day, in Gadchiroli or Odisha, Chhattisgarh, Madhya Pradesh, Jharkhand, every year dozens of children die. Dozens or hundreds die out of malnutrition. Does it make any difference to us? I'm asking you. Does it make any difference to us or no? Honestly. No, you have not yet started your journey. Doesn't make any difference. Honestly, I don't know. I don't care. I belong to mainstream society. But not any longer. Once you have taken anthropology as a subject, number 1. Second, your goal is to become a civil servant. Civil servant's main task is to control those, reduce those malnutritions and even include these marginalized sections in the welfare and development of the country. So, knowledge of anthropology will take you there. It will make things easier for you. Who are these tribes? First of all, we raise this question. Who are these tribes? What is the difference between tribes and scheduled tribes? There is a governmental language called scheduled tribes. There is a general language called tribes. In my childhood, I used to think tribes means some in Hollywood movies they used to show, or some Venkatesh movie also. There was old movie, Divya Bharati Venkatesh. When tribals surround you in a forest, you are trapped. You will fall in a pit. Then they will pick you in a net. They will take you there and directly they will put you in a big vessel. In that vessel, some vegetables are put and water is heated. Niche se ek bada sa fire dalenge and you will be cooked. Slowly you will be cooked. After nicely you are cooked, they will eat you alive. After cooked. In my childhood, I used to think tribes means very dangerous people. They are cannibals. They'll eat you away. They'll cut your throat and make football out of your head. All that. I used to think like that. So, many of us don't know who are these tribes. But you will realize at the end of the journey, or at least in the middle of the journey, array, how did we miss these people? The lifestyle they are leading is absolutely eco-friendly and earth conserving. The planet earth is safe in their hands, not in your hands and my hands. We are actually leaving a very heavy carbon footprint on this planet by our lifestyle, but not an average tribal. If there is a competition between you and a tribe, they will win hands down. They will get more marks. You are given 5 or 10 marks, they will get 90 or 100. In what? In protecting the planet. I'll tell you about that very detailedly. How come a tribal lifestyle is more better in this regard? We may be living very comfortably, luxuriously, at least somewhat. They may be having some suffering. They may not be having water or electricity. Many districts, many roads. One of my friends, one of my students called me. She is posted in a district in Odisha. He said, sir, the moment when we go there, they take the arrow and aisa khado jate hain. So, poor niche kar. We say, bring down that arrow. Otherwise, that fellow is, madam, unka adat hai. Her assistant is saying, madam, they are daily, they behave like this only. Even you tell them 100 times, they'll do like this only. Why? Why? Tell me. Do you do this? You do like that? You have a weapon in your hand. Do you take it out when some strangers come? Why they do that? Because they are dreaded, frightened about the foreigners, outsiders. They fear, or they sometimes, because these fellows come and take their land away, they may take their people away. They get frightened. They fear the foreigners. Even today in the jungles of Odisha, she lives in a district headquarter. Can you believe? And she says, I had fever. I had to go 70 kilometers for getting treatment. In the head, I said, are you living in a village? No, sir, I am living in a district headquarters. District headquarters, can you imagine? In India, she called me about 10 days back. 10 days back story. So people do not have electricity, no roads, no travel, transport. Even in newspapers headlines, sometimes you see some doctors going and crossing the water and giving treatment to them and coming back. Teachers serving in the tribal districts and coming back. I'll talk about that very detailed in Tribal Problems, chapter 6.3, paper 2. So tribals in this country are living in problems. Their life is in danger. Some, as I told you, like Toda, some people are only in dozens and hundreds. Tomorrow they'll become extinct, just like an animal or a bird. Tomorrow they'll become extinct. So anthropologists have got this job, advice to the government of India and the states. Look, these tribal people have to be protected. Some of them are dying. Their population is declining. Our populations are increasing. Hum log break all records we are breaking in population. During the COVID, again, we have created fresh targets, fresh records. But their populations are diminishing. This is not a good point. So the governments are advised by the anthropologists. This is the reason. This is the record. I think our time is also up. And I see a very positive kind of vibes in you, body language. I see that you are getting connected. And I can clearly see that. I'm an expert in body language also, by the way. I will take out one after the other, all the feathers in my cap, which are not invisible right coming days. And I'll be going all out to help you in any direction possible, every measure possible in personality development as well. Automatically, not like a separate class at during the class itself, one point comes, I'll take a leaf out of my life and it is like invaluable. It is up to you how you take it. So we'll call it a session, and thank you. Class is dismissed. Any doubt can approach me. I'm sitting there.